welcome once again into today's latest episode, the 820s Show. Welcome to the 820s Show. No matter where you are in the world, this is the 820s Show. Meaning, I'm only here to remind you, to suggest to you, to guide you, hopefully, to investigating or questioning the depth and breadth of your own resilience. I only offer to you my experiences, what I have learned or forgotten to learn, and starting to relearn for myself what it means to be resilient. Not because the stories that I'm sharing with you are so glamorous and fancy and written with beautiful stories. No, there are some shortcomings. There are some downfalls. There are some things that I mentioned in the book, Resilience, the Beauty of Presence. And it's in the front part of the book as the introduction. For me, in learning to be resilient, I must learn to fall and also fall to learn. I hope you take that as appropriately and as it applies to your life, but we all must do that. As they say, it's not so much when you fall down or are knocked down, it's how many times you get up. I didn't create that one or produce that statement, but I like that. We're all going to be faced with those challenges and the tests of this life we're given, not to meander through life without any care in the world or any concern about ourselves or our fellow other beings that we encounter. The challenge, as I see it, as I have experienced it, it's about how we, adopt, improvise, overcome, all those kind of nice words to use, but also what do we do with those lessons? It's not just for me to learn something and overcome it or come out on the other side of an event and say, whew, glad I made it. No, that experience and those experiences like that are for me to share, not for applause or sympathy, to share. Because someone out there may be approaching or going through similar circumstances and conditions. Maybe it's helpful for me to understand my purpose to share that lesson or that instance of what not to do for you. Or maybe if you're encountering that similar set of circumstances, another avenue, another approach to take to proceed down your journey towards resilience. Anyway, today's topic is called Remember That Thing I Told You About Death. And many times in the other previous 820 podcast episodes, I've mentioned that Stoic statement about memento mori. Remember to die, or remember you must die. I learned that really as a timeless and in-my-face reminder about our individual, but common and always non-negotiable fate. None of us have exemption status from that final destination on our journey. But when I mention memento mori, it's not about the final, it's about every moment like this one, every day like today, that we should do that practice called memento mori. Not about the dour statement as you might hear it at the first blush. It's about putting your all, your commitment to this present moment with all you have, all of you, of now, not yesterday or tomorrow, into now. So when I mentioned the other aspect of the first hearing of memento mori, that man, that's like the last thing. No. Thankfully, that statement wasn't about yesterday, and we can't return to yesterday anyway. But here we are now, in this moment, considering memento mori. And even considering that tomorrow thing as a perspective, that's a mental fantasy and construct. It doesn't exist. So here we are Here we are again in this present moment and today. The only day we can enjoy and or suffer through. That's always your choice. That's why I often refer to that Stoic discipline, memento mori, and the practice of it, of memento mori. Remember, you and I, we must die. Now, I have stated and restated those words in many other 820 episodes. I bring it up today from a point of clarity that Mr. Holliday of the Daily Stoic podcast and discipline, he wrote in a recent post. I will share that with you shortly, but I want to provide a different way to absorb and embrace that statement, memento mori, that if you hear it for the first time or a second time, it probably comes across as morbid or bad or maybe even evil. It is not. I use it to emphasize my personal passion and pursuit and commitment to the concept and context of the book, Resilience, the Beauty of Presence, in every 820 episode. That is, refocus myself and hopefully you on the value of this present moment. And that in these daily episodes, I'm inviting you to join me here as much as you can. Thanks again for your consideration, but here is the statement from Mr. Holliday. He says this, in quotes, "These philosophers of Stoicism who we had on this show would love to have read and spoken and prepared for death. That essential and inevitable part of the art of living. They eventually found themselves having to practice it themselves, as we will also have to practice. It could be a sudden accident. It could be a slow and painful illness. It could be in old age or in one's prime. But none of us last forever. None of us are invincible. None of us are exempt from the process that cut down Marcus Aurelius and his children, Seneca and Nero alike, daily Stoic guests and the people we went to school with. We have to notice this. We have to think about this because we can't stop death from happening. We are all marked souls living on borrowed time. Let's not waste what time we have left." I hope that helps you in the refocusing on this present moment. Not because it's the end, but definitely it's not yesterday or tomorrow. It is the now. So please, stay present, stay current. Remember, no matter where you are in this world, it's always 820.